What's up, y'all? Another fun one. We're gonna play with the time and weather. We're gonna make this a clear day. We'll make this a 3:30 kickoff. 75 degrees in Tallahassee sounds fun. Let's get after it.
Field at Doak Campbell Stadium is the venue for today's exciting college football game. This coin toss presented by Nissan, innovation that excites.
Kicking that ball off first. Let's go.
Fitzgerald has the ball teed up, and we're just about ready to get this one started. He sends this one deep. And it goes into the end zone, down for a touchback. Wake Forest's offense, a lot of times they can spread things out and they can really be versatile offensively. But when you got a wide receiver like this, it really helps the cause.
It does, and it continues to help with what they're trying to do. They're trying to find matchups, and when you have one player like this that the defense has got to be aware of, they're going to spread you out, try to find a one-on-one matchup, and if you spend too much time with this one player, they've got some other weapons to make you pay for it.
He makes it out
to the
26-yard.
And then we'll watch the movie as soon as it's over. Okay.
Second and 9. Ball on the 26. So an empty backfield with 5 wide receivers.
Spam.
And he's taken down.
You're fine.
The 49-yard line.
I'm on this.
That one goes for good yardage and a first down.
Yeah, that's just a nice gain on second down.
The game was on. Huh? No. All right. One play and Wake's already well into territory here. It's great defense, Ronaldo. Ronaldo Green with the breakup.
I can't believe his receiver so vulnerable like that. He took a licking right there.
Caught with room to work. He's at the 30 to the 20. Tackled inside the 5-yard line. Good looking play there.
I think they did a great job up front here, allowing the quarterback enough time to look downfield and spot the open man.
First down. Knocking on the door here is first and goal inside the 5. They put everyone up on the line. Touchdown, Deacons.
Met him in the backfield, but he was stronger. All right. Wake up 7-0. 7 plays, 73 yards. I think they had the first 25 all within one play.
He makes the PAT.
Those sliders are no
That's a
joke. Where's Harlan at?
75-yard drive, and they come away with 7 points.
Brad, I thought the offense did a really nice job of mixing up the play calling on that drive. I thought the defense was on its heels most of the drive because of the versatility of the offense.
So the score now, 7-0. He gets hit out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
All right, tough sliders. You'll have to be pretty smart this
out on the
game.
field for the first drive.
I don't know if we can go down more than a score or two here.
Scrambling around. Pressure coming. He's to the 40, and now the ball is loose. Recovered by the defense.
That ain't good. That is not good.
This offense threw the ball extremely well on their last drive, and they ended up with a touchdown.
This offensive coordinator's got to be feeling so good about the execution that he's seeing from his quarterback and his wide receiver. Because, again, they put so much
Good defense there.
to put a plan together.
Hey, we have got to get this stopped.
Come into play, makes
Can't go down this, sir.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 50. Wake Forest is up by a touchdown.
Good Lord.
Quick strike to the receiver.
That O-line slider's tough. We might be losing to Wake today, boys. Which means I can move the sliders around a little bit, but good Lord. BC was terrible. This Wake team is good. Hartman's really good.
Defensive backs as the offense comes up 5 wide.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me that he's breaking that tackle.
Gains his way to the 13-yard line.
Man. Mike, my man, what's going on, my man?
It's first down.
Listen, we got a tough one on our hands tonight, Mike. Go get him. There we go. Well-timed blitz. Well-timed blitz.
I think the linebacker here does such a good job of disguising his blitz. As a linebacker in college football, one of your biggest
Mari Gaynor, local product.
Being able to get to the quarterback. That time, he timed it up perfectly, was able to get through the offensive line and put the pressure on the quarterback.
So it'll be 2nd and 14 after the setback. Here's the give.
There you go. 3rd and long still. 3rd and 11. Hey, 7 people in here. Slow to start. But do me a favor and hit that retweet button. Or share or whatever we got here. 10. There we go. Have my cup ready for another win. What you drinking tonight, Mike? Man, I'm telling you, Mike, this is not started out super great. But we'll see what we can do here. That's a great stop. Hold him to 10. Hold him to 3. 10-0's fine. 10-0. It ain't ideal, but it's better than 14.
Turn that into something big.
They'll line up for the field goal, and this is nothing more than a chip shot. Kicks away.
You got it. 10-0. That's fine. What you drinking on, Mike? How's everybody else doing tonight? Y'all in the chat, y'all coming in here, hit that like button for us. Helps get the numbers up a little bit. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Let's roll. Do spam, bringing this out 9 yards deep.
At the 30.
That's a nice return. 46 yards. On that white rum. Look at you, bro. I can't drink. I can't drink tonight. I gotta diet Mountain Dew. So I'm out of it. Yeah, Harlan, we fumbled on the first play of the game, or the first offensive play of the game. Jordan Travis had a nice 20-yard run and fumbled as he was getting tackled. So, 2nd and 3.
2nd down, and they're going to need about 3 yards to pick up the first down.
10 people in here. Not crazy numbers so far tonight. Friday night, a lot of people out, but hit that like button for us. We certainly do appreciate when you guys do that.
41-yard line.
Hit that like button because they're hitting me hard at Wake Forest, sure is. Get the black unis. If we win this, we'll do black uniforms for Clemson. How's that?
He's going to try and scramble.
That is a nice throwing catch on 3rd
Pick
down.
up there.
That's really nice. Took a bit of a hit, but I think that's all right. Man.
From the 39-yard line.
This is a 3:30. This is a 3:30, Joseph. Come on, man. This ain't noon. We're 5-0, man. You saw how slow Benson was here? That's the sliders. Sliders, for those that aren't aware, are down. Ridiculous. They're down to 30 for me and 70 for Wake. So, we'll see what happens. There we go. First down. Go get a touchdown here. 10-7 should be fine. Noon game. Come on, man. We're 5-0. 4-0. 4-0. Trying to get to 5-0.
First down.
All right, we got Benson on the screen here. See how well they read it. They don't read it well at all.
Halfback on the screen. And he's
Go. 12 yards.
Well played by
Joseph, you're good, man. You're good, my man. They don't tell you the time, so I get it. This game should finish up under the lights. We'll see how good EA. I don't remember if EA does that or not, but it should be a night game at the later part.
And he makes it out to
Tough. 2nd and long now. I really want the 7 here, not just 3. There it is. Perfect crossing route. Micah Pittman. That's a late hit. I'll see that. 15 more yards. 3 for 3. Jordan Travis, 45 yards and a touchdown. Obviously, his fumble was big, but kind of a natural screen there. Yeah, that worked out really well. Nice drive. Nice drive to answer. 10-7.
Within a field goal.
13 viewers, 3 likes. Come on, I need 10 y'all. 14 viewers. There we go.
63-yard drive, and they add 7 points to the scoreboard.
Hit that button for me. That like button. Sorry, I gotta get these tweets off.
And it looks like
Hey, look, Garnet, not purple. Oh, we're doing the new logo thing, huh?
sends it sailing downfield.
Banks take the lead. All right, we do get the ball back second half first. So I'd love to get a stop or two in this half. She got one, forced a field goal.
We're just about ready to return to action. The quarterback in the gun, empty backfield, 5 wide receivers in the formation.
It's a good tackle by Dent. They still got a good gain out of it, 6 yards there, but I'd love to get a stop or two. I'd love to have the lead going into halftime so that when I go score to start the second half,
Wake Forest has a 3-point lead.
I'd love to get that
Fires quick, he catches another. He's knocked out of bounds.
I'd love to make it a 2-score lead at that point.
So they get it out there.
We'll see if that can happen.
And that's a first down.
Guys, do me a favor. Numbers a little low tonight. I get it's a Friday night, but hit that share button for me. Benson, broken vertebrae, out for the season.
What we're hearing now, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to return to action today. Gets it out quickly. Tackle made at the 39.
Yeah, they're lighting it up. We have a good running back stable. I'm not so worried about that. And as you guys know, I rush people back from injury. So he'll be back next game for NC State, but does think that he's going to be out for the rest of this game.
Throws complete. He's got room to work. They'll bring him down.
Man, they are lighting it up. A lot of these are quick passes, too. I don't even know what I'd really do about them.
That makes it 2nd and 2.
Hartman. Man, that's blocked well. How come Jordan Travis gets hurt or hit and fumbles, and this guy runs like nobody's business? And it's no big deal.
First down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 14.
Bringing a bit of a blitz here.
He steps out around the
5 yards. I always put this computer right in front of the down and distance. I can never see it. Got to go man this close to the goal line. catch the ball. Oh, that would have been so massive. Sliders turned all the way down, make that a really, really tough play. So I get it. Dadgum, man. That would have been huge.
Is up by 3.
We're forced into another field goal here.
Out of bounds at the 13.
Great job. Verse was coming quick there, and so I thought that was their only option. Verse was going after him. So that's really big. That's really, really big.
It's up, and it's good.
And you got to think they're pretty happy with holding them to a field goal right there.
All right, go get a touchdown here, take the lead after going down 10-0. Could certainly be worse. Pam bringing another deep one out.
Across the 30. He's taken down.
I like that left side, guys. I like that left side. We the people. It's even funnier with normal sliders. He probably still drops it. Hey, bro.
And while they are behind, they know they can knock.
You're right, but I was a user catch out. He got it, bro. We the people. First, this is your first game in here. I'm not sure, but thank you for joining us. Thanks for hanging out. Tried to juke him, didn't work out. You see how Verse is getting off that line, Mike? It's coming. It's coming. Just wait for this year, man. Just wait for this year. I think Jared's going to do cool stuff, man. Oh, what's up, Ty? I forgot you on a... you were on an old account that first time.
He's scrambling.
There we go. Winston Wright. 28 yards. Baited that defense. I think Verse is going to be a problem, y'all. Jordan with a nice game to start. All right, let's just get this to the second quarter. You guys kind of rest up a little bit.
A great ball game so far as we reach the end of one.
Guys, hit that like button for me. Hit that share button for me if you don't mind. You don't mind hitting a little social media love and letting the people know we're in here hanging out. Noles down 7-13. Wake scored 3 times in that first quarter, but 2 of them field goals. Gave us a chance to get back in this thing. Trayshawn Ward, nice run, 6 yards up the middle.
Get 6 yards.
What about football really quick? Hope we get Simmons, Florida, Miami. Both pick up some great players. All right, listen. You don't go running everywhere with this info, but I feel really good about Simmons. Really good. Just from the things I've heard, that mood may change between now and then. But as of tonight, I feel really good about Simmons.
Can't wrap him up.
Well, that's a great move to get that first down. Yeah, not saying it's a done deal just yet, but it's looking good for your boys. So hopefully that continues. Let's flip this around. All right. Well, like this option here. Oh, that's the Red Sea there. Did not want to take a hit, though. USC, okay, I agree. USC is the one that worries me the most. I'm not really worried about Tennessee. I'm not worried about Florida. If either of those come through and beat us, I'm going to be pretty dejected, but I don't really worry about those as much. Appreciate you, Mike. Appreciate you for sharing this. USC coming in and just dropping an absolutely ginormous bag, that's what worries me. Winston Wright, way to hold on to that ball. Going across the middle. But I still feel good. I know that possibility exists with USC. I think Florida State's done a good job of putting themselves in position to get this commit. There's a reason we're doing a spaces at 1:15 planned right now for Monday. So we'll see what happens, but I feel good so far. There we go. There we go down to the 1 yard line. Oh, I'm not going to repeat what you're saying out loud there. Ty, but just know that that work has been done. That leads to some of my confidence. Just we're working. All right, there we go. Noles lead after being down 10-0. Come back to take a 14-13 lead. Wake scored a touchdown on their first drive. We held them to 2 field goals back to back. I want to stop them outside of the scoring position here now. That's it, Bauer. What's up, Kev? What's up, my man? Hey, Kev, I don't know if you already do, but hit that subscribe button for me, man. Okay, pull JT. It's Duffy time already. Dude, how do I block Jason from this chat until the 4th quarter? Because I know he just wants to see Duffy.
Momentum have been
Oh,
fairly
man.
even, and with so little separation.
Methodical drive after methodical drive, man. Like, that's what it is.
Just 1 or 2 plays.
More chances to make a mistake, I guess, in a methodical drive, though. It's a nice tackle there.
Gains only
Marion
4
Cooper.
there on the delay.
They sent the middle linebacker here on a blitz, and he was pretty much
You did. I appreciate
in there
it.
to make the stop.
Appreciate it, Kev. If y'all aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Hit the share button. We love that. I think JT might be back this
Second
game.
down and 8. Ball on the
Time.
27-yard line.
He was out. He got hurt against, was it Louisville?
He's on the run. Looks like he's going to run. He's taken down.
Dang, tackle that guy. He got hurt against Louisville. That's 1 week. Then it was BC. And then there was a bye week, right? And then Wake Forest. So, yeah, he should be back next week. So, yeah, we rushed him back, man. No big deal. But there was a bye week in there, right? I think there was a bye week after, before Louisville. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he should probably still be out. So, oh well.
Now he tries to buy some time.
Oh, I covered that screen well. Hartman is slow as heck, and we got just what we needed, the 3 and out. Now we can try and go down and get this score up a little higher. Boy, that's huge.
Ellison awaits the snap. He's at midfield. He's at the point.
Oh, if he gets that spin off, guys. Oh, if he gets that spin off, it's a touchdown. Man, that's a great return, though. Hopefully they show it. Oh, they're not going to show it. I'll show it. Dang, that was a great return. Watch it from behind. Great move there. Looked like P-Dub, man. Oh, if that spin gets through, oh, that hurts. Great return, though. Puts us in prime field position. Now we don't have to do one of those long methodical drives that Bauer was talking
In a
about.
game that's this close, you can't afford to waste possessions. Florida State up a point. He makes it to the 35-yard.
Great drive, great return followed by that dud of a play there. So, YOLO. Hey, thank you guys for liking. Thank you guys for subscribing and hitting that share button. We certainly appreciate it all the time. Do Spence? I think it's going to be Pittman back there, but Spence showing me something in this return game. Oh, that's not going to work. Oh.
They'll get him for a loss.
That's a loss of 4 yards on the play. That brings up 3rd and 14.
3rd and 14. This is a big play here. Dang, man. Just when I thought we had this kind of going. That's a great break. Pokey Wilson. Bethune and Deloach, what linebacker do you see? Yeah, I think it's Lundy. That's a great question. I would love. I like questions like Jason just asked, and I'll read it here in a second. But I like questions where I don't have to just keep kind of going back to the. That was a great throw. I'm not trying to give myself too much credit, but shout out JT. I'll tag him on Twitter. Tell him it was a great throw. I think Lundy makes a step up. And here's what it was. Lundy got caught in coverage a couple of times because he got caught in coverage against. I think it was the play against Miami, or maybe it was Florida or Clemson or something. I think it was Clemson because it was a big game. But I think Lundy being able to move into that 3rd linebacker role as opposed to having to be the 2nd linebacker that you're counting on, right? Because then you have Deloach 1, Bethune 2, or if that gets flipped, that gets flipped. But some form of that. There we go. And being able to take a little bit of that pressure off Lundy where he's not going to be in every down back, right? Because you're going to take your linebacker out at times when you've got to go into your nickel and dime and you're putting extra DBs on the field. I think that pressure coming off Lundy and him not having to play every day, also not having to cover guys, right? Like you're going to have Bethune and Deloach doing that. I think that's going to help a ton just in general. Oh, I thought he would stay up. When he shook that guy off, I thought he could get into the end zone. 2nd and goal from the 2. Let's just run it right up the middle again. So I like Lundy a lot there. I think he will be a good football player. I think that's a great question. Who asked that? Jason. Yeah, great question there. I saw another one in here. All right. Took the touchdown. All right, here's the answer we tried to talk about last night. You always go for 2 here. You always go for 2 to go up 2 scores. See if it works out. Oh, the sliders are tough. We'll see if it will or not. It didn't. Stay upset. Where do you see the defense as a whole this season? So here's what I think about the defense. I think what they lost in Jermaine Johnson and Kier Thomas is unreplaceable, right? Like, they lost 2 guys, one that's a first-rounder, one that, I was hoping Kier would get drafted, but Kier will probably make a practice squad somewhere, hopefully make a roster, but 2 really, really good college defensive ends. So I think what you lost in star power in those 2 players and the ability to just absolutely take over a game is going to hurt. That said, I think every position group outside of defensive end got better. And so I don't think you're going to need just an absolute freak like Jermaine Johnson to take over games like you had last year. Defensive tackle got better because there's more depth there, and Cooper and Fabo are another year older, and both are really focused on this being a money year. Linebacker got better with the addition of, dang it, that's a great triple option. Linebacker got better with the addition of Bethune, also Deloach, another year older, Lundy, another year in the system. So I like the linebacker position better. I think defensive back, again, not a lot of additions. You did add Greedy Vance. You did add Ezra Thomas and Sam McCall, which I think will make a difference kind of late in the year. But I think those additions on defense, as well as those young guys on defense that were making a difference, just being another year older. And so you look at our safeties. I think Robinson and Dent it's the best safety duo in the conference, and I don't even think that's really close. I like Renaro Green. I like Cooper. I think that there are some guys on the outside there that are going to do a good job. I like Kevin Noles out there. But all those cornerbacks are just another year older. Greedy Vance is going to come in and make a little bit of difference, help with some depth. So I think every position group got better outside of defensive end. And I don't think defensive end is sunk, right? Like, you don't have a first-round talent on there in Jermaine Johnson, but I like Verse a lot. I think some of the depth that you've got at defensive end helps too. And so, yeah, you lost a superstar, but I still think you have an overall pretty talented defensive roster. There's a reason people are projecting this defense to be top 20 next year, right? And they're not Florida State homers like me. They're saying that. Man, he should be dead. That's a hit that he should be dead. When you see defense as a whole trimmed down, man, Cooper's a beast. Doesn't get a lot of credit, but I agree. I think Cooper does a really, really good job. Made some big plays last year, gave up some big plays, but at the end of the day, does a really good job. Thomas and McCall, I am so excited for them. I think we're probably going to see them with a bigger role later in the year as things kind of progress, which just kind of makes sense. 3rd and goal, it'd be nice to stop them and hold them. I went for 2. I tried to go up 9 instead of 7. It's early. I don't care. So I missed the 2-point conversion. But, yeah, I think Thomas and McCall will get some time. I think they'll make big differences later in the year. That's not a good throw. I don't know where he was going with that, but that is beautiful. 3 times inside the 10-yard line that we forced field goals here. That's really good. Now I should have definitely gone for that one. All right, minute and a half for us to go get another touchdown here, or at least a 3 on the board, and then we get the ball back first. My favorite thing about that 2013 team, outside of winning it all and beating the rivals and everything else great that we did that year, I love that we always scored just before and just after the half. So I think that is something that we want to do right here in a minute and a half. To do it, we'll see what can be done. Yeah, I agree. I think we will see more turnovers in the secondary. I think if the defensive front can just, I think we're going to do really well against the run. That's a nice throw and catch to playing. Do really, really well against the run. Keep teams behind the sticks because I like Cooper and Fabo in the middle. I like the linebackers kind of clogging those holes as well. Get teams in long passing situations and then let guys like Verse and them go after it. Man, if they're not to stop that middle, I'll keep taking that. I do think we could see more turnovers by the other team, by opponents this year. So I like that take. Hey, up to 15. We finally got some good viewership in here. People are sleeping on them.
He's scrambled. The Decides to tuck it in, and he's got
I was hoping he would block him
pushed out of bounds.
once I passed the line of scrimmage. But hey, do me a favor and hit that share button. We definitely got some new people in here that weren't in here when we asked the last time. So do us a favor, hit that share button. We'll keep this thing going.
Scrambling around. He gets the pass away.
He diagnosed the blitz immediately.
Man, saw Winston Wright going wide open. All right, want to slow this down just a little bit because I'd love for them to not get the ball back. They've scored quickly on us several times. Almost halftime. Let a little clock run here for a minute. Got all 3 timeouts, so there's really no reason to be in a rush at all. I think we'll see the white uniforms with the white helmet. You know, I don't know. Fans obviously, I don't know how much the kids care about that stuff. I'd love to see it because I like anything that's just a little bit different. So, like, I'd be all about the white helmets. I think they're really cool. I think they look really cool. Cam McDonald, you just dropped a touchdown, son.
That one probably should have been picked off.
I don't know. I can't predict uniforms. You already get Sharif on here to talk about that. I'm so depressed that he just dropped that.
Third and goal. They're 10 yards out.
But I'd love to see the white helmets for sure. I don't know if it happens or not, but I'd love to see it. There we go. Hookie Wilson. All white uniforms would be really cool. I'm actually sad about the new upcoming NCAA. We're going to have to play a freshman QB unless they run the roster from the year before. No, I mean, you think about it, the roster is always from the year before, or at least it always has been. Like NCAA 14 was Jameis and Devontae and KB and all those guys. So it was that year. So the year is always the roster they just finished up. That said, the way that these new rosters work, people are going to be downloading the new roster and updating the new roster once the game kind of comes out. So it'll start out as the old roster, but if you're playing online and stuff, people are going to be updating it, weekly and everything else. Which basketball uses 1972 throwbacks and baseball needs a total. Dude, I wouldn't hate the basketball wearing those old throwbacks. I think that'd be cool. Yeah, it'd be dope. Baseball need a total revamp. I don't know. I like the baseball golds, by the way. Like, I love the symbols across the front and the baseball gold. So I don't know about total revamp, but they could freshen some stuff up.
That's a great tackle.
If Harlan's still in here, he'll have some baseball uniform takes for sure. But I don't hate the baseball stuff.
5 wide receivers.
Our softball uniforms are absolute fire. There's no doubt. Okay, let me catch that. Let's go. Softball is their uniforms are fire. So I'm with that.
In front by 11.
I do like the baseball 90s uniforms. You're not necessarily wrong there.
Welcome back, everybody. Second half action about to begin. Excellent kick. At the 30. He's knocked out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
All right.
So now both teams come trotting back out onto the field.
Yeah, when we were down 10-0 and those sliders were what they were, I was nervous. Were y'all nervous? Y'all aren't playing, so maybe you weren't that nervous, but I was. Oh, man, his arm just fell. Then the new additions of people coming back, our softball team might be even better this year. Yeah, I think so for those in here watching, and if you watch this later, I am doing something kind of cool with the softball team. We announced it yesterday. We're going to do a rewatch. Their season ended a little shorter than we would have wanted it to, right? But we're going to rewatch. Oh, my goodness. We're going to rewatch some of the games with the girls. Should be a lot of fun. Start Wednesday night. So if you guys are around Wednesday night, we won't stream a game that night, but we're going to rewatch the Alabama game with them. Sydney is going to be part of that, Sydney Sherrill. And so to me, that's the biggest loss. Losing Danielle was tough, too. She obviously pitched really well in some games. But with the Arizona State addition, Allison Royalty, I think that the pitching won't miss a beat. You also get Allie Dubois, who sat out last year from Boston University, was on the roster but didn't play. So pitching, I think, will be great. They can absolutely make a run. Losing Sydney is going to be tough. not only from a leadership perspective and a hitting perspective, she leads the ACC and FSU all-time in doubles. Third base is a tough position. Obviously, it's the farthest throw to first, so it's can they find somebody that can kind of fill that position? Because I think that's going to be tough, right? I love Dev at second base. I love Josie at shortstop. I really love Mac at first base, but it's hard to think that the defense collectively in the infield doesn't take a step back because no one is going to be as good as Sydney. Now, that said, we did watch Sydney replace Jessie Warren and probably play the position just as well as she did. So it's not even crazy to think that somebody could come in and be great, but when you have Jessie Warren and then Sydney Sherrill back-to-back at third base, it's hard to think that you're going to just keep replicating that level of greatness. But we'll see. I'd love to be wrong about that, but don't count me as the guy that's predicting. Jump for the ball. He was going to drop the pick, but I switched to him and I just smash him wide. That is frustrating. But don't count me as the guy that's going to say somebody's going to come in and be better than Sydney. But we'll see. I've heard rumblings that it could be Harding going over there to third base. She has an absolute cannon, as we've seen in the outfield at times, and so that would be an interesting one. I'd be really interested to see Kaylee Harding out there at third base for FSU this year. So, let's see here. Softball's got me all messed up. Looking at talking about softball and then losing the grip on this game. It's a great job on that option.
They're about 4 yards away here on third down.
Renardo just couldn't stay up with the guy. Yeah, I knew that 5-star.
These guys need to be aware this aerial attack is capable of making some big plays.
Yeah.
Got to get on their toes.
Their defensive line recruiting just stays nasty, so that sucks. But we're about to get a blue chip offensive lineman to go up against them, so bring it on.
With the extra point.
But yeah, they're nasty, man. 34-23. Noles up 11.
And he's ready to kick this one off.
They got tired of me returning the ball, so they kicked it out of the end zone. It's probably smart.
About returning this one. The Seminoles had that hot hand on offense, and they just keep on going here in quarter number 3.
The greatest thing you can say about these guys today is consistency. They are moving the football and putting points up on the board. They're going to be tough to beat.
I think we can find Western right again, bait that safety.
Passing was a result of their last drive. Kirk, do you expect the defense to take a different approach here?
When this quarterback is on, he is on.
Guys, do me a favor. Our recruiting material right now is just a little slow and long. We're loading up on the trenches. I guess if you prefer one or the other, right? Like you'd rather have your trenches, lined up because that's where the games are won, right? To be cliche, but it's got to get better in other spots. It's got to get better at Malik, my man. Jordan Travis is 15 of 18, and 2 of those are drops. I just want to say that. 2 of them are drops. One was Cam McDonald in the end zone. One was just Malik McLean. Jordan Travis is having a heck of a game. Throwing the ball. He ain't even really running it. Just throwing the rock. That was a little tough. I don't really count that as a drop. I think that more so the defender got there at the same exact time as the ball. So, tough one there. We got to do a little bit better job recruiting the wide receivers. We got to do a little bit better job recruiting linebackers. But yeah, I don't think recruiting's terrible by any means right now. But, barely got that first down.
Look at that throw and you think,
we get 8-4 though. 8-4 better.
But only he knows.
You'll see kind of what happens with recruiting.
Wide receiver to have the ability to come down with the football for that first down. That's big time there between the quarterback and the wide receiver.
Oh, now McLean wants to catch that one.
And they make the stop at about the 21. From the 21-yard line.
I'd take 8-4 all day too. I think you beat LSU, you get to 8-4, by the way. I think what's most likely, you beat LSU,
And for Travis, He gets to 300 yards passing on that.
300 yards, man. Travis is killing it today. See if we can get an option so I can get Travis a touchdown.
Hard work reflected in the box score. He should be very pleased.
Touchdown, FSU.
There we go. JT deserved that one. Beat LSU. You got to go beat. If you beat LSU, you got to go beat Louisville. If you beat Louisville, you got to beat BC. You start out 4-0. I think you can go 4-4 to close the year, especially because 3 of those wins are going to be Syracuse, Louisiana, and Florida, and Georgia Tech. There's 4 wins right there. You can lose to NC State, Clemson, Miami, drop a game to Wake Forest. Doesn't matter. You start out 4-0. You're finishing the year at 8-4, worst case, maybe even better. You start out 4-0. I mean, I think you had a chance to beat Wake Forest at home. Start out 5-0. I do think you drop the next 2 on the road against NC State and then at home against Clemson. But
they'll go back to that same strategy, or they start to lean a little bit more on their ground game.
That's a user pick. Travis J, run the thing back. There we go, boys. Yes, sir. Man, I don't know, man. LSU was just not a good team last year. First game with a new regime. Quarterback sucks. I think we're going to be in that game. There's a reason that game's in New Orleans and they're only a 3-point favorite. Y'all like that pick 6, though, don't you? That shuts the nail. That's a nail in the coffin. Shuts the door on this team. Oh, very bold prediction. Jordan Travis figured out a way to stay healthy all games. Woo, Heisman finalist. I'm going to tell you, if he stays healthy all 12 games, he's going to put up some nice numbers. I don't know if he gets to New York, but
This one's going to be down in the end zone.
But I like your prediction. Pengram 26. I like it. All right. Now that we got a lead, we've doubled them up now, y'all. It was
just a moment ago.
this is encouraging to watch this team play like this.
This defense is excellent on capitalizing off of mistakes.
Dadgummit. I tried for the big hit, and he's going to score a touchdown.
Inside the 30. And he's all the way
That's
in for the
frustrating.
touchdown.
You know, honestly, I think the Louisville game it might be a little tougher than LSU, as crazy as that sounds. LSU game it's in New Orleans, close to Baton Rouge, but we're going to have a good number of people there. We sold out of our allotment of the 30,000 tickets. You get to play a team that's in their first game against a good opponent. We'll have the tune-up game with Duquesne. I could see us winning that and then losing to Louisville. I think you need to beat Louisville if you beat LSU. But Louisville with a Cunningham Cunningham at quarterback who's given us some trouble. You also have a team that is experienced. You're on the road, Louisville on a Friday night. I don't think that if this team goes out and beats LSU and loses to Louisville, but then turns around and beats a BC to start out 3-1, I don't think that that's indicative of a poor start or anything like that. Like, I think that would be just fine if that's kind of how the first 4 games play out. Obviously, if you beat LSU, you really want to go back and beat Louisville, and you'll have the. I'll tell you what sets up really nice for Florida State is you'll have 2 weeks to play that game. You get the bye. Yeah, Pengram 26. You just said it. You get the bye for that game. So if you get the win against LSU, you're feeling good at 2-0. That just beat your guy off the line. Wilson, let's go. 2 weeks to prepare for Cunningham. Any bumps and bruises that Florida State has, any injuries, just game planning and prepping. I think that's big for the Noles. I think that's really, really big. So we'll see how it all plays out, but I think that schedule sets up well. Oh, Trayshawn almost got it in. I think that sets up really, really, really well for the Noles. Guys, do me a favor. We got 17 in here. That's our highest of the night. Appreciate those that are in here watching. Do me a favor and hit that like button. Smash that. Let's get that up to 20. Really helps with the algorithm. Really helps with this getting seen by other people. and watched on the replay. So if you guys can do me that favor, we would appreciate it. Trayshawn Ward deserved that touchdown. Shout out my man, came in for Trey Benson. Did a fantastic job.
71-yard drive, and that's good for a touchdown.
And Brad, you're going to move the ball well when you're able to execute the pass game like that. Those big plays eventually are going to lead you to touchdown.
Looks like they're ready for the kick.
Let's see here. All right, 55-30. At this point, man, this has been a long game because there's been a lot of scoring. 85 points. Who had the over/under 85 here? Wake will be good on offense, like how they have. Does Wake have a better wide receiver? Are they, they've developed better?
Good-looking touchdown from last time these guys were out there.
They've not had to rely on 4 transfers coming in to raise the ceiling and the floor. I know you're not asking. I know that's more of a hypothetical or rhetorical, but you're right. There's absolutely no reason for them to have a better wide receiver room than we do. But that Wake game last year, Florida State was down 3 scores and drove down into scoring position twice and got stopped both times. Once on a 4th and 1, and the other time, I think it was like 4th and 5 or something. One of those was like on the goal line. And I do think that if Florida State would have scored those 2 touchdowns, instead of getting stopped inside like the 15 twice, then you're looking at a 1-score game, and you kind of see what happens. But when Florida State couldn't take advantage of long drives to start that second half against Wake, stayed down 3 scores. That's was kind of the end of it. So I think Florida State's defense will be a little bit better this year. I also think Jordan Travis having been in that game a little bit longer may have helped. But dude, they got to stop running the screen, man. I'm reading that really well. Joseph, it was just my first game back, man. I hadn't played in a while. I knew that people were like, "Oh boy, struggling against Duquesne, shut the controller off or shut the game off." But yeah, I just hadn't played in a minute. Like, that was just the only problem. I wasn't really going to lose all these games. There we go, Jared Verse, another sack. I think Jared Verse is up to like 10 sacks on the season. He had 3 against Duquesne, 4 against LSU. He had 1 last game, so that will put him at 8. I can't remember if he had 1 against Louisville or not. I want to say he didn't. So this would put him up to 9 if that was his first one today. Span has been absolutely incredible in the return game today. Not so great there, but 13 yards will take that. 0-5 in games Milton started. Yeah, we talked about Milton was severe. I appreciate Milton coming in and giving it a go. At the end of the day, he was severely physically limited and kind of gave it all he had. We had a fun night against Notre Dame with him kind of leading the comeback. But yeah, I mean, it was frustrating. Jordan Travis has got to stay healthy, or we're going to be the same situation. 0-5 in games. Tate or Duffy. I hope that it's just Tate that starts. I don't want to ruin Duffy this early, but Duffy time in 1:41 if Sean's in there. Not Sean, Jason's in here. But yeah, I mean, Florida State's won 8 games the last 2 years. Jordan Travis started 7 of them, and the one he didn't start, he came in down 2 scores and led the comeback. Something else that's damning, Florida State went 5-3 in games that Jordan Travis played significant time, right? He played very sparingly against Jacksonville State. He played very sparingly against Louisville. Not Louisville, Wake Forest. So 5-3 in games that Jordan Travis started. Those 3 losses, a 3-point loss to Notre Dame, a 3-point loss to Florida, and what should have been a 3-point loss to Clemson, if not for kind of a crazy last play of the game. Really should have been a win against Clemson. But, yeah, I mean, I think that
makes it out to maybe the 19-yard line.
Jordan Travis is the keys that make the thing go at this point. Nick Gainey asked a good question.
They're doing just about anything they want, and they're really starting to wear the psyche of this defense now.
Nick Gainey just has a really good question on Twitter about where the rosters come from and how Florida State is ranked, where they're ranked right now. So It is almost Duffy time, Sean. I know you're excited. My guy Jason in here is excited too. He's building for the future on NCAA 14. We're going to try and get Jordan one more touchdown, though. Don't cuss at me. You've been thinking about the players that should have to be proud of. 13 teams in the schedule. Hold on, Mike. Let me read that in just a second.
Catches it, and he's looking for more. He's taken down.
TJ, I've been thinking about this. The players that we have should be proud of wear that logo because there's only 3 teams on the schedule that have a logo against them. I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, Florida State's got to stop losing games to crappy teams, right? They gotta stop losing to freaking the Boston colleges and the Syracuses and Louisville and people like that. So I agree. That's ridiculous. And you lose to a team like Clemson or Florida or Miami, and those are premier programs. You know, you don't like losing to them, but you understand it, right? But yeah, got to stop losing to the Wake Forest. Getting to New York. Yeah, we're trying here. You got a good day. We'll get Duffy in next. I agree with that. You get the Raging Cajuns from Louisiana in week 11, and then week 12 you get the Raging Cajuns from Gainesville. So two weeks in a row. We'll see which one's tougher. Joseph with a good comment there. I like playing them before. I think it did work out pretty cool to get to play them back to back. The only thing that would be cooler is if Florida played them. You got to see like both those teams go up against each other.
If you're going to get blown out,
I wanted to see if Nick was in here. Nick Gainey. He asked a good question on Twitter that I wanted to answer. I brought a big blitz there. I was hoping to get there. This is the last play of the game, as the last play of the quarter, but it didn't work out. Hey, up to 20 viewers. I need you guys to give me the 20 likes. I need 5 of you to just hit that like button real quick. You're watching anyway. It don't take that much effort. Just go ahead and hit it. Thank you very much for your service. Spring Jared reverse. Looks like we're bringing Bethune on a blitz too. Oh, sir. Not here. Louisiana promote from within. Nick Gainey said he is in the stream, so I will answer a question real quick. I don't know. I honestly do not know what Louisiana did. To answer on the rosters, so I get them from a place called SG1 Sports. They're on Patreon. I think it's like $5 a month, and they update the rosters like every other week or something. So I'll give them a quick shout out and a plug just to get that kind of taken care of. As far as rosters go on the or as far as like where Florida State is ranked on here and it being a little high, I agree. It does feel like 90 is a little bit high. It looks like Louisiana did promote from within. It does feel like Florida State's a little bit high with the 90, but I will say, like, when you just look at the talent on Florida State's roster, I don't think that that's a bad rating, right? And maybe I'm a little bit of a homer to say that I think Florida State's rankings at 90 is not bad, but I do think they have a lot of talent. Like, Florida State has recruited, even being down, has recruited around top 20 for most of for all of the last couple of years, right? Like, you know, Norvell keeps finishing with top 20 classes. That's what Willie was finishing with. They do a really good job in the transfer portal of picking up key guys. And Florida State returns the 11th most production from last year, right? And so you're typically within a video game, you're going to expect, hey, thanks for getting us up to 19 likes. One more person hit it. You're typically going to expect your team to be a little bit better each year. And so the guys that Florida State brought back, you would assume that they play a little bit better than they did last year. And you look at the variance in college football here and in the NCAA video games, you're not going to see a team, you know, even your worst team, like your Vandy, is going to be in like the low 70s, high 60s. So you're not like ranking these teams. Oh, Renardo, catch that. He's had 2 that he's dropped. You're not going to see teams in the ACC and SEC any lower than like 75. So you're really looking at like a variance from like 70 to 90. And so they're saying that Florida State is in like that's a 30-point variance, right? And so you're not going to ever see an ACC or SEC team at like 45. So I think 90 might be a little high, but if your variance is just from 70 to 100, an average team should be 85, an average SEC or an average ACC team. And so I don't think that it's unfair to say that Florida State's maybe in the bottom of that top third of college football. Like if you had to rank Florida State right now, where would they be? Around 40th best in the country? Well, that would mean that they're in the top third of the 130 programs that they are. They're at the bottom of that top third. But so, and that's kind of where 90 would be, right? If your variance was 70 to 100, because you got 30 points there, and the top 20 or the bottom 20% would be anything 90 and below. So yeah, I don't think that 90 is too crazy for them. Maybe it's a little high. Maybe 87 should be the number. But I think that's a really good question. But it has more to do with like variance, right? Like you're not going to see Florida State ever below 70 because they just recruit too well, you know, compared to everybody else. Like Florida State has more talent on their roster this year than every other team except for LSU, Clemson, Miami, and Florida, right? Like those are the only teams that could even get close to the actual talent. So Florida State should be higher than all of them. It just kind of comes down to coaching and do they play well together? Does Jordan Travis stay healthy? Nick, that's a really good question though, and I think goes a little deeper than, oh wow, 90, like they must be really, really good. Nick, if you stay on real quick, what I'm not sure is I don't know if the rosters for all of the SEC schools are updated or not. I would assume they are, but I will take a look. And I'll go see what Florida's is at. That said, Florida did lose a lot of production this year, just in general. They lost Copeland, which, you know, I think the fan base was fine losing. They also lost Gamble. Those were their two top touchdown catchers from last year. And so I think that Florida's might be a little lower just because of the talent they lost. They also lost a really premier defensive back, which I don't know. You know, Florida State replaced their kind of top talent with another top talent in Verse. I don't know if Florida did that with their DB getting drafted in the first round. So I could see Florida being like 86, 87, but not much different, you know, pretty similar, and mostly just having to do with how much talent that Florida lost
Florida State.
and how much unproven talent they have on the roster. I think Florida will do fine, but I meant to add
They make
that.
the stop at the 40.
I forgot to put Duffy in. You guys let me talk all that about all that stuff. Yeah, those it was close though, Nick, for a minute. Nick Rogers. Depth chart. We'll get Duffy a little burn here. See, and he was asking about the depth chart, like, you know, none of the team is like great, right? 86 for Benson. We don't even have a fullback. Wide receiver, nobody's 85 or better. Tight end, Cam McDonald's 85. Scott's an 80. Gibbons 85. That seems about right. Caden Lyles 85. That might be a little high. Washington 80. That seems right. Emmanuel 84. I don't even know who ends up starting there. Verse, that's probably a little high for him. Warner, that seems right. Cooper, that seems right. Levitt, that seems right. Deloach, Bethune, those all kind of seem. This seems a little high. 88 for Bethune. Cooper, Green, those seem pretty normal. Robinson, I think that's right. He would have been in the NFL this year. Dent, I think that might be a little high. Maybe 88's the right number there. Kicker, punter, I don't know. I don't think it really matters. But, yeah, I mean, you might have a little bit high on some of those, but I'm also kind of a glass half empty guy. So we'll see. All right, we like to bring Duffy in, and then
Second down.
yeah, I think Gaynor gets good burn. You know, I think we rotate so many guys, and you know, the ACC model and so many teams is to play fast. Oh boy, nothing like bringing your first pass in for Duffy and he gets a screen pass to 30 yards. Yeah, I think that I think there will be some good burn for Gaynor. You know, I think he's, you know, down on the roster fighting with Lundy for that third linebacker spot, but I mean, I definitely think he's going to get in and get burned and have an opportunity to make plays, and he could take over that third spot from Lundy. So we'll kind of see from there. Think we'll find a place for Gaynor. Yeah, I don't see the. Yeah, I think Utah is going to be a really big test for Florida first game. Kind of like I talked about LSU with us, right? LSU, I think, will figure it out and be fine as the year goes on. But with them having to take on a good team to start the game, to start the season, a team that, for all intent and purposes, should have beat Ohio State had the quarterback not gotten injured, and Florida lost Florida lost so much production again with Copeland leaving, with Gamble taking UCF, and again, I think that Florida fans are fine losing. You got to be kidding me! Malik McClain picks up the fumble for a touchdown. That's awesome. I wanted Duffy to get that, but if he can't hold on to the ball, he deserves that. I think that Florida's going to have a tough time in that first game figuring out their identity without having that warm-up game. I think it's huge for Florida State to be able to play Duquesne first game. I think that is, it cannot be understated how big that is. First of all, just because we haven't won an opening game since 2016 against Ole Miss. We barely won that one. But, yeah, I think just picking up that win, starting out 1-0, and having some optimism after beating a bad team's brain in, I think that's going to be really big for Florida State. I think Florida, obviously, you know, they didn't expect to have a new coach this year. In fact, going into last year, I think everyone kind of thought that was the year for Mullen. They had played Alabama really close in the SEC championship, and I think they thought that this was the year that Mullen was going to do it. And so, yeah, I think if you'd have known you were going to have a new coach, you wouldn't have scheduled Utah for that game, especially how good Utah is, how many people they return, and everything else. So,
Cavalry's coming.
And how did we not
They'll bring
get
it
to
down at the 40.
Florida's got a tough schedule, man. They play Utah first game. That's a tough one. They've got a stretch, I believe, where they play LSU, A&M, and Georgia. Three straight games. I think there is a bye factored in there. Or like kind of blessed in there. I think those are going to be 3 tough games. I think they split with Kentucky and Tennessee. I could see them splitting with South Carolina and Missouri. I could also see them winning both those games, but you know they lost to both those teams last year. And South Carolina was an absolute laugher, and so I think Florida's also a lot like us. Their season's going to be determined on if their quarterback can stay healthy. If their quarterback stays healthy, then they'll have a great shot at winning, you know, those 50-50 games. If Richardson's not in there, it's about like if Travis is in there. So I could see them struggling if he was to go down. I also think he played inconsistently at times. I believe he had 6 touchdowns and 5 interceptions last year. And so he didn't get as much burn as Florida fans would like him to have, but when he was in there, he was either throwing touchdowns or throwing picks. Absolutely phenomenal athlete, probably the best athlete that any of the 3 teams have at quarterback in the state. But can he stay healthy? Can he not get injured? We'll see. They play Florida, you know, so we talked about Utah. They play a tough stretch of LSU, A&M, and Georgia. I think that's 3 losses there. They could lose to Utah. That's 4. They split with Kentucky and Tennessee. That's 5 losses. They got to come to Tallahassee and barely beat us last year at home. You know, that could be 6 losses, you know, and then you can't drop another one. You can't drop South Carolina. You can't drop, you know, Missouri. You can't, if you were to lose to Kentucky and Tennessee, then you're looking at 7, 8, you know, it could really get rough for them. That said, I mean, I think Anthony Richardson is a really, really nice talent, and I think if he's healthy, he'll win a lot of those 50-50 games that we talked about, whether that's Kentucky, South Carolina, Missouri, Florida State, whatever. I mean, I think the 2 teams, you know, I do think that our game with them will be pretty even, and kind of see which one comes out on top. Like how Hartman's sitting in the middle of the bench. Like not in the middle of the seat, like literally in the middle of the bench. Minute 54 to go. The stream's gone a little bit long, well over an hour now, because of how much scoring's going on. 116 points. Let's do a little math here. But this will be the last drive of the game, hopefully.
They'll try to make it 2 touchdowns in 2 possessions.
I think Utah does beat Florida to start the year. That's not a troll. That's not, you know, I know it's fun to talk crap about your rivals. Get in there, Duffy.
Another touchdown.
All right, I guess that wasn't the last drive of the game. I'm going for 76 points. Yeah, Joseph, I had it on 69, but I couldn't stop it. Yeah, I mean, again, hey guys, we got 20 viewers in here, 19 likes. One more person needs to smash that like button for me. We like to get these things up to 20 likes, and then we're happy, right? So smash that for me if you guys are watching, and I'll shut up about it. Yeah, I think, you know, again, Utah should have beat Ohio State in the bowl game last year, if not for an injured quarterback.
This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback.
You know, we'll see.
Both teams are playing out the stretch here. You want to get experience for guys who normally don't get in the game.
Yeah, Nick, I mean, I agree. See, okay, here's where I don't think that holds up. Nick had a good point, and that Florida did win. I tried to get him.
He's at midfield. Down the sideline.
Nick had a good point on Twitter. Nick, you're welcome to come in the chat, or if you can hit the subscribe button, we'd appreciate it. But we do a lot of Florida State content, but we're doing a lot of streaming and stuff too, so that should be fun. Nick had a good point, and I know that Gator fans like to say this a lot. I don't think that this really holds up as well as they think it does on the timeline. Nick says, beat FSU at home, but without a coach and a program in shambles, had no place winning that game. Will win in Tallahassee this year. I don't think that holds up super well. I don't buy that. If you look at the way that Florida played, just from an effort perspective against South Carolina, and then whoever they played the week before, whether it was Idaho or something, where they gave up, Georgia Southern, where they, or whoever it was, that they gave up like 50-something points in the first half. If you look at the way that Florida got up for that Florida State game, like they were invested, and they were absolutely in on that game. And when you look at the spread on that game, Florida was a 3-point favorite going into that game by Vegas, and they won that game by 3 points. So for you to say that Florida had no business winning, Samford, that's right. For you to say that Florida had no business winning that game, that's really like taking a lot of confidence out of like players and kids to get up for a rivalry where they know how much that game means. And credit to Florida's players. They absolutely didn't show up a couple of weeks before they played Florida State, but they did show up to play Florida State. You saw it from, who was it, Pierce or whoever it was, running without his helmet and just doing everything he could to try and score. Like, Florida's players showed up for that game. So credit to them. But also, like, even without the coach, Vegas made Florida a favorite in that game for a reason. Florida had more talent. They were playing better. And they played at home, and that ended up being the difference in the game. I thought it was a really close game. I mean, I know that Florida State scored late to make it close, but if not for the muffed punt, I mean, I do think that Florida State probably ends up winning that game. But, yeah, I think that if Florida State stays healthy, it's going to be another close game. I don't think that Napier is as good of an offensive coach or game day coach as Mullen was. Though Mullen wasn't there, it was still his system, still his stuff that they were running. So, I don't know. I think that Florida State will have a chance in that game, and it'll kind of go either way, like rivalry games do. I certainly don't think that Florida coming off of a 6-6 record or 6-7 is leaps and bounds better than Florida State. And I think it's really going to be which program's more healthy toward the end of the year. But that is a really good. I think that Florida State should have won that game too. Vegas disagrees with us, and I thought Florida State had more to play for in that game. I thought that game did mean more to Florida State. But at the end of the day, it was a 3-point game. You know, Florida State had Florida kind of on the ropes, punting from their own end zone. And if we catch a punt at the 50-yard line, down 3, I like us to go score there and take the lead. And then I think the game is much different in the second half if Florida State has a lead instead of having to come back. So, both football's fluky. So I agree, Florida State, it meant more to them. But Vegas told you that Florida was going to win by 3 by making them a 3-point favorite, and they won by 3. So I don't think that's too crazy. We're getting 80. I wish I could get 81 though. That would be the cool thing. Nick, yeah, there we go. 82 points. Should we go for 84? We did miss that. I do think if Travis would have not gotten hurt, but see, that's been the knock on Travis, right? Is staying healthy to be able to have those big drives. He hasn't been able to do that. He's able to do that this year. I think they will win more games, but got it. 84. Beat him by 40. Boy. Okay, where's Harlan? Is Harlan still Nick, I appreciate your insight, though. I appreciate the conversation. I think that's, I don't know. I do like when, I know that so much of the timeline is just trolling, and I do my fair share of that. Don't get me wrong. Like, a lot of that's on me. But I do like when you just talk ball, right? Like, okay, you got a little bit different take than I do. I got a little bit different take than you do. I think that it was fine that Florida won that game. We agree on some things. We disagree on some other. That's okay. Like, I'm not sitting here saying that Florida State's going to win by 20. When Florida comes, get that. Oh, I really wanted to pick that up and run it back to try and get the 90. But that was Duffy, Pengram. But anyway, yeah, I thought that I like when you just kind of like talk ball, right? And it's not all trolling. Again, I do enough of the trolling, but it's fun when we can do some other stuff. All right, cool. Let's look at the stats. Duffy, 3 for 4 with 2 touchdowns. Look at that 418.5 rating. That's insane. Jordan Travis with a really nice day, 26 of 31. Wake Forest defense is terrible. Benson got hurt after a couple of runs, did not get in the end zone, but Trayshawn Ward did. Jordan Travis got one on the ground as well. Ontario Wilson, man, he does it week after week. Him and Wright carry the load. A couple of touchdowns for those guys. Johnny Wilson and Pittman each had a score as well. It's a rivalry. No, I agree. I like the trolling for sure. Nothing wrong with that. But sometimes I do just like talking ball. And sometimes that gets lost on the Twitter timeline because everybody thinks that it's got to be a troll. Travis J, the big play on defense, the pick 6. Jamie Robinson and Akeem Dent, both with 8 tackles. That's, and then he got Green with 6. It's embarrassing. It means they passed all over us, but hey, we held him to 44. So that's what we had to do. 10 extra points and we don't punt. Man, Span was incredible on the kick returns today. So shout out Span. He was really, really good. Good on the punt returns too. Had that 29-yarder that almost went back for a touchdown. Hey, Nick, if you stay in here real quick, we'll go look at Florida's ranking and see if the guy making this just is a home for Florida State. 5-0 though. 5-0. Let's see where Florida is in the rankings. Let's look at some of the other ACC and SEC teams. If you guys are ready to go, you guys are ready to go. But Nick brought up some good points on roster and stuff like that. I want to kind of go look at some of the other teams in the game and just kind of see where they're at. Again, I think Florida State has more talent than most of the teams on their schedule, and so it kind of makes sense with having a little bit better of a roster. Man, they got them very close. Again, look at Florida State's defense, slightly better than Clemson's. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, see, that's off. Like, that's crazy to me. Let's look at some more of them. Cincinnati, Charlotte. Let's find some ACC and SEC. So Boston College, right? Boston College is a mid-level team. They got a decent offense, not a very good defense, but 84. So you're not going to go much lower than that for your kind of mid-level team. Let's see. Auburn, 86. I think with how much they lost last year, right? What they go 5-7, 6-6. I don't think that's too crazy. Arkansas, see, you're getting a little bit closer. Arkansas has not out-recruited Florida State the last 4 years, so even though they're probably a better team, they play as a better unit, slightly less talented. Like, these are just roster talent type things, not necessarily about who's a better team at the time. Bama being at 97, I mean, that makes sense for sure. I'll answer that question on Miami in just a second. I want to look at a few more of these. Wake Forest, 84 to Florida State's 90. I mean, I think that kind of makes sense. Virginia Tech, Virginia, kind of in that 83. But see, even Vandy, right? Like the worst team out of both conferences, 79. You're just not going to – so your variance is even lower than I said, right? It's like 79 to 97. So, I mean, you're talking the difference of 20 points, from 80 to 100. Even like your USFs and stuff. I got them at 84, man. That's nuts. Who else is in? Okay, Texas A&M. There's another one. 88. That should certainly be higher in my opinion. I think that's a little low. Their defense isn't very good. Got their offense a little better. Tennessee, again, kind of close there, 88. Florida State's out-recruited Tennessee the last couple of years. South Carolina, 86. See, but all these teams are like 80 to 90, right? Like, that's just kind of where you're finding people. Pitt, 88 to 90, very similar to Florida State. Ole Miss, again, 86. But then you look at your, like, premier teams. Ohio State's definitely better. Like, 95 makes a huge difference. Notre Dame and Florida State played to a 3-point game last year. I don't think that's too crazy. North Carolina, again, slightly lower. NC State has recruited well, but hasn't recruited Florida State the last few years. Florida State should be more talented than Missouri, more talented than Mississippi State. Miami, that's an interesting one. Very similar, right? And I think that makes sense with how much Florida State returns. Some of the losses Miami had. So Miami has a better quarterback, but I don't know that those rosters are too far off from each other. We'll get to Florida here in a minute. Louisville, yeah, slightly better than Louisville. We've recruited better, so I don't think that's too crazy. All right, Georgia. See, that's crazy to me. 91, we know they're better. But see, what's crazy is, like, their defense is 5 points higher, and their offense is 5 points higher, and their defense is only 2 lower. So I don't really understand how that comes about. But here's Florida. Florida at 90, so almost identical. Literally, like, identical rosters. So, That was a good question for whoever had it. Nick Gainey. So Florida and Florida State, almost identical rosters, very, very similar, according to the NCAA, the people that make these rosters up. It's certainly not an easy job. See, even Duke, 79, that's terrible. I don't think that's really accurate. But yeah, for Clemson to be 90, that's kind of nuts too. But anyway, all right, good question. Somebody asked about Miami, how we thought they would do. Man, Miami, yeah, I think UGA is just low. I mean, I think UGA should be like way up there. But yeah, I agree though. I mean, yeah, I think Florida's high when you look at UGA being the same talent. I mean, we both know that neither Florida or Florida State have the same talent as UGA and Clemson, that's kind of crazy to me. Somebody asked about Miami, and then I'm going to hang up and get off here. But yeah, I think Miami's schedule sets up really, really nicely. I think that their only two acceptable losses are Clemson and Texas A&M on the road. They should beat Florida State at home. Rivalry games are tough though, so you never know. That could go either way. But say they lose, the absolute floor for me for Miami has to be 8-4. Like, they cannot go worse than 8-4. 8-4 means they lost to A&M, they lost to Clemson. That's acceptable. They lost a rivalry game to Florida State. That's almost acceptable. And then they only dropped one game they weren't supposed to. In all reality, they should not lose another game out of those first three I mentioned. You lose a rivalry game, that's fine to Florida State. You lose on the road in Death Valley, that's fine. You lose at A&M, that's fine. They can't lose another game than that. They really should be 9-3 at the worst. 8-4, I guess, is the absolute. If they go 7-5 or worse, I think that's really, really terrible. Right now, honestly, I'd probably have Miami at like 9-3. 8-4, 9-3 is kind of my prediction for Miami. I think they've got to win more than 7 games. They bring back the best quarterback in the conference. They've got so much talent. I think that they'll be more organized than they were under Manny. I don't even think Mario's a great coach, but I do think they'll be better than they were. They've got to find a way to get to 9 wins, in my opinion. I just don't know if 8 is enough to sustain the kind of recruiting momentum that they've got. All right, Nick asked for this honest FSU opinion. I think Florida State goes 7-5. If they if they beat LSU week 1, so week 0 they'll win against Duquesne. If they beat LSU, I think they've got a chance to get to 8-4. I think what ends up happening with Florida State is they beat, let me look at the schedule real quick, FSU 2022 football schedule. I think there are 4 games on the schedule that are just like absolute must wins, and they will win. I think that's Boston College, Syracuse, Louisiana, and Duquesne. So there's 4 wins right there. I think there are 3 games that are really, really, really tough, and that's Miami, Clemson, NC State. I think those end up being losses. So you're at 4-3, and then I think from there are 5 coin flips, right? So in your 5 coin flips, you need to go 3-2. You need to go a little bit better than average in your 5 coin flips. Those coin flips being Wake Forest, Louisville, Florida, and LSU. There's one more that I'm missing. Oh, Georgia Tech's another win. So wins are Louisiana, Syracuse, Georgia Tech, Duquesne, and Boston College. You're 5-3. Sorry. You win those 5 games, you lose your 3, and then you go 2-2 in your coin flips. Again, coin flips being Louisville, Wake Forest, Florida, and I lost the last one. But anyway, you get the idea. Oh, LSU. Go 2-2 in your coin flips. You can find a way to get to 7-5, right? That's kind of my thought for them. If you can upset somebody or win one more coin flip that you're not supposed to win, then I think you can get to 8-4. Beat LSU, start out 2-0, go on the road. If you beat LSU, you can beat Louisville, start out 3-0. You should beat Boston College. They're not very good this year. I'm not saying that Florida State starts 4-0, but if they found a way to beat LSU, the path is there to do that. Keep our recruits with 7-5. Yeah, I don't think anybody on the recruit on. Yeah, I think we do 7-5. I think we keep most of I think we keep most of it together. Could somebody get poached? Yes. 7-5 is enough of an improvement, especially if you go get a bowl win to keep them. I think, especially coming from 5-7, you've literally won almost 50% more games. So, but again, I think that LSU game's huge. There's a reason it's only a 3-point spread in their backyard. That's one that if Florida State can steal, they'd be in really good shape. All right, I got to get out of here. Thank you guys for hanging out. We will see you Next time, go Noles. Thanks. Hit the subscribe button. Thanks for hitting the like button. We'll see you guys maybe tomorrow night. Maybe we'll play the NC State game tomorrow night with harder sliders. So see how it goes. See you guys.